Alright folks, so keep in mind this is a work in progress. I made this by hand. It ain't done yet. I'm going to have to order a brace. There's no way around it. I'm going to have to get that in order to get the fender completely straightened out. But this is what we got so far. So definitely work in progress, but it's a whole lot better than what we had before. And starting to get dark on me here. But we just about got it. So I went and ground a lot of them ugly welds out of there. It ain't done yet, but I think it turned out fairly decent. But a couple high spots here and here. But for the most part, it's not terrible. Is it perfect? Lord, no. But I think it'll work. I think it'll be a lot better than what it was, that's for sure. So I did weld that in, but I don't know. This is what it's supposed to look like. I don't think it's too far off. So let's see. Alright, so that's what we got. So that's what it's supposed to look like. So it's not too far off. But got the general shape of it, got the curve where it comes back a little bit right there at the bottom. Put that back in there, it's hard to see, but it is there. But we can remember, this fender did not line up correctly. So, you know, you gotta keep that in mind too. I gotta finish out the bottom. I'm not too happy about that, but I can't really, you know, in order to finish this corner out, I'm gonna have to get that brace and get that in there in order to, you know, finish the corner out, and I'll have to, you know, fix that bottom. I'm gonna cut this piece out here that's on this fender. I'm not gonna use that piece, but I'm gonna have to make this bottom piece too. And see, it's kind of countersunk right here. This is where it bolts to the bottom of the firewall. So I'll try and recreate that if I can. But I gotta remake this whole bottom right here, and this whole edge as well. I have to remake all that. But we can get a template off this, and I mean, this ain't will really matter. That shouldn't affect anything. What really matters is this body gap between this and the door. And before I final weld it in this corner right here, we'll bolt it up on the car, make sure it's going to be right, and then we can trim it out to however we need to. I got a little excess material right there, so that's why it looks like it's a little off from that, where it curves back right in here. So it's actually a little excess material right there. There's my line. You can kind of see what's there a little bit. So I did that on purpose, so that for two reasons: so that gap will close up, and then also so I can you know, trim off what I need. I really have too much material in this case in that corner than not enough. But that's what we got so far. So it's getting there. It's not perfect, I know that, but I can do a little more welding on it. But it's definitely getting there. So yep. And yes, I know I gotta fix this. I'm not. See, it'll come up. I can straighten that out. It's just nothing's holding it in the corner. That's why it looks like that. But we will get that brace. I'm gonna have to, because that other brace is, I don't even think you got enough to get a template off of it, and it's kind of a little complex. So yeah, we'll definitely have to buy that brace. That's what it looks like. So we'll definitely have to get that for sure. But it's a whole lot better than what it was, I'll say that. So, but we got almost 2 fenders down. This car looks different with no front clip on it, but you know, we'll make sure and get that body line right there at the bottom of the door right there. I want to make sure that's right. But once we get the front clips straightened out, I know me and front clips. But we got to do a little work on this. I got to fix the rocker. The guy had the car before, I mentioned it before, but I got to fix that. I do have a good original rocker panel for it. He said it wasn't rotted out. I definitely, I believe that, because these are actually galvanized. So they got galvanized rocker panels on it. They actually, in the brochure, if you look up on a 66 and 67 Chevelle, I know a 66 for sure, it actually talks about that. I forget what they call it, but it's like rocker panels wash themselves out, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, all the rainwater goes down in the cowl right here and comes down, and then it washes out. It's actually got drain holes on them rocker panels. And I actually took a water hose one time and flushed all that out. Well, not on this car, but a different car. And I forget what they call that. I don't know, washout rocker panels, or I don't know. But so that could be good and bad. You know, it's good you can wash them out like that, but it's also bad because all that dirt and everything gets down in there, and you know, if that drain hole gets plugged, you know, it's gonna rot them out eventually. I mean, galvanized will rust eventually, but I gotta fix that. And then this car's filthy dirty, I know, but I lined that door up. I didn't even really touch it, but I lined it up. Got a little bit of rot in the bottom right there, but that'll be easily fixed. Nothing major. The corner's still good. On the inside, I'm talking about, it's still pretty solid, so I'm not too concerned about that. The bottom of the door is just about perfect. I mean, it's got a little, you know, surface rust, but I mean, it's nothing major. It's nothing structural. So that's the main thing. But the door lines up really good. It just needs to come up just a little bit. Just a little bit. I lined it up, and some of that's probably in the hinges too. I might need new, not new hinges, but it might need new bushings put in. I'm sure. But that's what we're working on here, and then I got to fix the bottom where the fender bolts up to underneath the firewall up in here. It's rotted out, so not much left of that. But up in here, I can feel a bunch of dirt and everything. I got to fix that. That's going to be interesting. But we'll get her fixed here. But I'm going to fix that. The other side's fine. It's weird how it rots out on the driver's side a lot worse than it does the passenger side. I don't know why. But that's what we got. Not a whole lot to show, but we'll get our front clip finished out, straightened out. I'm going to take these doors off, and we'll double check the hinges. If they're usable, then I might just run them for now. But I ain't worried about painting the car right now. If I do it, I'll get single stage, like something close to midnight blue, but not like a metallic or anything. But I'm not really concerned about that right now. I just want to get this car straightened out body wise, so that we can take our 94 350 and all that and put it in here, and I want to get this thing on the road. It's been almost, 18 years I've been working on a Chevelle, and it's time to get this stuff done. Gotta quit playing around with it and get on it here. And I will admit, like a lot of people, you take on something like that, you kind of get a little discouraged after a while, and everybody's like, you need to sell it, find somebody that's going to work on it. No, you don't sell it, you get on it and get it done, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I want to get this stuff knocked out, But this would be a very easy car to get back on the road, to bring back, because the brakes have already been redone. I'm sure everything hydraulic, the master cylinder, wheel cylinders, I'm sure they need to be replaced again. I wouldn't trust them. They've been on there, it's been sitting around since 2016, and it's, wheel cylinder, master cylinder's not that much. And that's kind of your brakes. I don't want to play around with that. So I'll freshen all that back up again. And all the parking cable, all that stuff's been replaced. It's had new lines put on it. Well, I did all that. But I got to get the clips. It's supposed to be clipped against the frame like that. But not a big deal there. But that's why I pulled the motor out. A couple people, not on YouTube here, but in the real world here, they were asking about it. It's like, why'd you pull the motor out? Why don't you leave the motor in there? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, because it needs to come out for this, situation like this. It needs to be out of the way so we can, say we, but me, I can line everything up get everything corrected, and I want to paint the firewall. We got some rust in the firewall, and you know, I'm getting tired and kind of burnt out on fixing rust and rot. Not just on this, but just in general here. But you know, that's why we had to take it off. We got to get this stuff corrected and fixed, because I'm thinking serious about putting regular tags on this car, because you know I know what that entails. Yeah, state inspection. Can't stand them. But I want to do that because I want to be able to drive this car wherever I want, and you know, not be able to have to be restricted with it, you know, because Virginia does not play with antique tags. Also, I will say that, you know, you got to be careful about that. You can't be driving, you know, an old car with antique tags every day. They will get you. They don't play with that. I know a good buddy of mine that had antique tags and did it for years, and it caught up with him, and he ended up losing his antique tag privilege there, and all his cars are nice, but you know, he can't put antique tags on nothing. He has to get it inspected, and that's why, you know, I don't like playing with stuff like that, because that's not cool. And you know, some of my vehicles, you know, I don't have a choice but to put antique tags on, like my C10. You know, that thing wouldn't pass inspection, but it's parked, and I'm not going to drive something that's unsafe. That's why it's parked. Same reason my Etzel's parked, because it's unsafe. You know, I got me and a lot of people, you know, I got a lot of common sense. I'm not going to drive something that's not truly safe. But yeah, Virginia, you know, they're strict on that. So that's why we're going to put regular tags on here, and you know, unfortunately, we're going to have to get it inspected. I know what that entails. I dread that, but that's why I'm trying to go through the effort and correct all this stuff and make this car truly right. Not just because of that, because for me too, you know, but also, you know, I want to put the effort into this car, because this is the one I really need to work on. Because this car is, you know, it's not rotted all to pieces. I know it's got rot here and there, but it's not to the point where, you know, we need floors and all this other crazy stuff like this. I mean, and I will fix this car. It's just, you know, it's going to take some serious time. But before I end the video, I think when we do the trunk paint on here, I think it'll go by a lot quicker, and it'll be a whole lot easier. I mean, I know it'll be nothing's easy on it, but it'll be a lot easier welding it up, because we can just plug weld it in. Don't have to worry about butt welding nothing. The only thing I might have to butt weld is, you know, the quarters and the wheel housings, but the rest of it we can just, you know, plug weld it in and just be done with it. But it'll be a lot easier. But this trunk paint is, the paint itself is not terrible, but the braces are out of whack, and it's going to take some serious time back here. But I'm just trying to straighten out the front clip for now and kind of work my way back on it, and I'm not worried about the quarters or any of that right now. I just want to get this thing straightened out, and you know, get the hood, the front clip, the doors, get everything open and shut and correctly, and we'll worry about all the rust, like in the door down there and a little bit in the quarter. It's nothing too major, a bit right there. But we're gonna get this thing straightened out. I'm just trying to get this thing done here. I want to get it on the road. I miss it, but at least it'll have a good front clip, won't be rotted out, and you know, I like to have a little pride, and plus, you know, I wouldn't put them fenders on like that anyway. They're just going to keep rotting out worse, and hopefully it'll last a little while. Hopefully they won't rot back out. Hopefully not, but it'll last a little while. If they rot out later, then I'll just cut it out and put a patch paint on it, but I don't think they will. Hopefully not. Hopefully it'll last a little while. But that's what I wanted to show. There's not a whole lot to show, but it's coming along. And then hopefully it won't be too much longer. We'll get this fenders done. The inner fenders should go by pretty quickly, because I don't really think they really got any rot in them. So hopefully we can just clean them up. And it's nice to be able just to clean something up, not have to deal with a bunch of rot and you know, all the craziness of making patch panels. And welding, grinding, you know, that kind of thing. I'd like to clean stuff up and just put it on and be done with it. But that's what we got. And I'm gonna get rid of all that spaghetti wiring too. I definitely don't like that. But we're definitely getting there. But I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna run the trim, the moldings. I really don't. So, oh, I don't know if I showed that or not. But this car did not have that. It's no evidence of that. So, I don't see any holes. I can't feel any holes. That's the original quarters. So, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna shave them. So I'll probably be welding all them holes up on both them fenders, since I ain't gonna use them. I know I'm just particular about it because, you know, if you take it to a car show or something, I'm not building this car to take to a car show, but if I want to take it to a car show, you know, and people looking at it, you know, I'm the one that's, you know, building this car. I don't want them to look at, well, dang, he put a front clip on there, didn't even lift a bunch of holes off of it, don't have the moldings on it, and, you know, I don't really care what anybody says, really, you know, I don't. Shouldn't judge somebody's car, but, you know, at the same time, you know, I want it to be presentable. I want them to walk up and be like, oh, dang, he took his time, and dang, this car must have not ever had moldings on it. You know, you don't have a bunch of holes in the wheel well, and, you know, it look dingy, and, you know, that kind of thing. I like to be, you know, have a little pride, and, you know, make it look decent. Make it look like, that's the whole thing, is to make this car look like a 66. And hopefully I don't have a bunch of power issues with that. I hope not. We'll find out, I guess. But that's the plan. So, definitely getting there. And I think I already said, yeah, I'll definitely have to order that brace for that lower fender. Here's that brace. I'll flip the fender up that way y'all can see it a little better. But I'll have to order that brace. I think it comes up to a little bit below this hole right here. So that'll fix the rest of that fender there. So I'm gonna have to get that. So I didn't quite, you know, make it all the way. I was trying to go all the way, you know, make it all the way without buying anything, and it's alright though. I don't mind buying one brace at all versus having to buy that whole patch panel, and, you know, 2 patch panels and 2 braces, because you talking, you know, $100, $300 and all that, and it's crazy how much that stuff has just went up. But I don't mind buying just that one. That ain't a big deal. But, and they are, you can't just buy one for like the passenger side and to put on the driver's side. It's just not gonna work. So they're made to fit that fender the way that's made right there. But yeah, and it's actually curved to fit the fender too. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but yep, let's see there at the bottom. It's curved to fit that fender. So, but that's as far as I can go on that fender for now. It's definitely getting there. So I think it turned out fairly decent. Ain't perfect. It ain't perfect, but 66 Chevelle. There's it right there. Number 25, 66 Chevelle there. Alrighty, so figure I'd show that. It's getting there.